How was transitioning from high school to college for you, Kai?
I would say it was definitely a bit stressful just from transitioning from my environment from like my home into a college dorm, because my freshman year I was placed into PEMI and I was in a triple, and if anybody knows about triples and PEMI, they are the size of like a double room. There's not a lot of space.
Mm-hmm.
And like growing up, yes, I did grow up with 2 siblings, but I always had my own room. And like
your own space.
Yeah, exactly. And even though we all shared like a bathroom in the house, it felt very different sharing like a communal bathroom like in the dorms.
Like those social changes.
Yeah, so it was a lot to adjust sharing my space with people who would see me almost 24/7. You know, it wasn't just like I could very openly like play music very loudly in my bed, at least for a good while, because you're trying to get comfortable with your roommates. Especially
it's also so awkward.
It is.
Like when you're like, I'm actually gonna go shower. They're like, okay.
I handled that in such a different way. So I started out in Geneva in a single, and I purposely tried to get a single. Because of my stress and like anxiety when I came here. Mm-hmm. So I didn't want to be in my hometown, like in Mass, and I also didn't want a roommate either because of that same like social change situation. And even with being in a single, like I just wasn't ready for that like change. And it just kind of affected me in a way that like it felt weird being so independent and by myself and having to like take care of my own space, let alone having another person there too, you know? So
yeah, no.
Having another person in there.
Like, you know, you're like, or like the first night's sleep going to college, you're like,
you don't know who they are,
yeah,
or like how they're gonna be.
Like, I'm like, oh, so like we're sleeping?
Seriously. And I definitely felt a lot of like homesickness too.
Oh my gosh, homesickness was crazy.
Yeah.
I'm not even from far away, and I just was like,
me too.
I just, you know, your bed's probably smaller. I mean, from home. I didn't have a twin XL. I got there and I'm like, so this is it. And then I shared a fridge. That was
me
horrible.
too.
Because like every like thing I looked up, should you like freshman year, do you need 2 fridges? No. And then I went and we were sharing a fridge, and you know, some people live very differently. I realized the hard way.
Yeah.
People
like
live
clothes and stuff.
Clothing, how they pick up after themselves. Like, you know, it's just always a changing. It's scary. I'm really proud of myself for.
What about you, Bambi?
going.
Like with transitioning from high school, how did it feel for you?
For me, I think it went okay, just because I already knew some people here. My brothers used to go here, and like a couple of other friends, until they dropped out. But yeah, definitely. Like I was put in PEMI. And then I heard a lot of things about PEMI, so I was like, I'm not going
that's it.
Yeah, so I ended up going to Blair, and I was in a triple too, but then one of the roommates, like, she switched, so I was like, yay, double. And it was alright. It was awkward, definitely, and also adjusting to the fact that like the person you're with might not be going to sleep at the same time, or they might be like a morning person versus like you being like a night owl. So that was also awkward. And like, you know, the first night where you're like, can I turn off the lights, and they're just like, so it's kind of awkward.
You have those awkward moments.
Yeah, you're like living with someone completely new.
Exactly, somebody you don't know at all, unless if you guys like contacted. And what I did my freshman year was I reached out to my roommate just so like, you know, I could like say that I know of them instead of like going in blind. So I think that made it a lot easier.